All right, let's get into it. This article is from Games Radar. Supergirl is a quote unquote space adventure like Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn says. All right, I'm not going to read the whole article, I'm just going to get the relevant portions from it. DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn has shared that Supergirl has something in common with his Marvel debut, Guardians of the Galaxy. Quote, both those things are worked in. We knew both of those stories were a part of what we were originally put together, so they were part of the overall tapestry. But they're also their own thing. Gunn told Rolling Stone, referring to the Peacemaker season 2 finale, plot lines that involve Chris getting stranded in another universe and Rick Flag Sr. working against metahumans. Quote, Supergirl especially is a space adventure, he continued. Quote, it's like Guardians, Galaxy is its own thing. There's just a longer, sort of a bigger world where we're building with all these different pieces, and they do all come together and intersect, sometimes in a story fashion, and sometimes just in a, here's another piece of the world fashion. These are my thoughts. I think at this point it is very safe to say that James Gunn's DCU is DOA. And I say that because this is kind of like you speaking from the ruins. Because there's no way, why is it that every movie, every show always has to track back to that one particular trilogy that just happens to be successful out of his whole career? At this point, and I'm going to say it the way everybody else has said it, he is a one-trick pony. And I'm also saying that because I'm saying it because every time he refers something to everything that he's doing, he refers back to Guardians of the Galaxy. We've already said we don't want the MCU fashion inside the DCU. I don't know how many times or who he's around that told him that the MCU type of movies and television shows, you cannot convert that over to DCU. It is a different tone. It is a different category, and the demographics are completely different, where the expectations are very different. So that's just one of the reasons why we stress that he was not fit for this role, let alone to be part of a DCU chief capacity. One of the things that I've noticed here is that with the disappointment with Peacemaker season 2, I'm at the point where I just want to make sure that he's gone, because don't get me wrong, I do not wish upon anybody to lose their job or to have their life ruined or their reputation ruined. That's nowhere where I'm coming from with this, because I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So let me put that disclaimer out there. However, what I'm saying is the fact is that most fans are not getting from what we were told that we were going to get, or even to justify why you took the spot of somebody that was supposed to be competent enough to be able to keep Zack Snyder in play, for him to do his job and to finish out his vision. And instead, Zaslav and Gunn have undermined that for their own purposes, in order to be able to give us this less than mediocre universe, to pretend that they're putting something in place of that actually lives up to anywhere close to that, and we have got nothing but below mediocrity the whole time. It feels like these last 3 years, in the very fact that the whole cast was fired or let go, and Zack Snyder and those other directors, and Patty Jenkins and James Wan and David Ayer, were let go, even though they did their jobs. It feels like one big ruse. I feel like that this whole point of them being here has been a waste of time. And as much as I'm not really, enthusiastic about the sale with Paramount Skydance acquiring Warner Bros. Discovery, at least I will get some type of satisfaction that will confirm that I was right, that he needs to be gone. The very fact that I had a video out that I just put out before that showed that Paramount Skydance is actually looking at the same thing that we are, not even just in regards to Gunn, but also in regards to Zaslav, that gives me some type of peace of mind to let me know that I was right about this. And the very fact is that they're gone, because a reboot does not really excite me at this point, considering the fact is that they've already, if that article is correct, that Zack Snyder has moved on to a certain point. I don't know. I will take that with a grain of salt, with all due respect, but I do believe, hopefully, that opens the door which was once closed to him, from the exact same below mediocre people that decided that they wanted to go cheap, and now they're completely completely baffled as to why their cheap ways have actually resulted in this kind of karmic, kind of like this karmic tapestry, that they laid out themselves, so they really can't complain considering the fact that they made their own bed and now they have to actually sleep in it, and now they're getting kicked out of it, and now they got to sleep on the floor, so to speak. But my whole thing is this. Supergirl, there's no excitement around this, considering the fact that there was no excitement around Man of Tomorrow. There was no excitement for Lanterns. Hopefully, I do believe that maybe his slate might be cut short, but these things will be released, and then I have a feeling that these things will be released first, and then we'll get the news that fact is that he's fired, and they'll probably give him a way out to say he resigned, when the truth is we know he was fired. But here's the deal. I'm kind of getting a little bit off track. I'm just kind of like imparting some things that actually is related to it, but let me get back to the Supergirl. For one, I'm not a big comic book reader, so I will say this. From what I've been told, Tom King, the guy who did Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, Tom King is not a great author. People do not like his comic. They do not like his style. They don't like his writing. They don't like most of his work. So, and I kind of get that feeling with that because, again, James Gunn is the only one that's actually picking it up and actually adapting it. So that makes a lot of sense. And I will say this, in regards to the Supergirl, because it seems like this seems to resonate. It seems like everything that people don't like, Gunn seems to resonate with it. And it seems like when that last article, when I put that he's just doing whatever he wants, it seems like that's what he's doing at this point. He's doing whatever he wants, and it's showing. It's showing that he has the freedom, that everything he's doing that people didn't like, that people would not show any love to, or nobody would like, he's taking full advantage to do what he wants to do. So when cultists come out here and they defend it, they don't even understand that you are a part of the diversion where he is fooling you to get you to support him. So in that regard, he's making unpopular decisions because the fact is he can afford to. And he's using you as the excuse and the bait to do it. But the thing about this is, he's hustling you too. So the more you keep defending him, the more he makes fools out of you. But I get peace of mind knowing that I was right about this all along, and all I had to do was ask questions to say something's wrong, something suspicious here. The cultists just went along with it. But as far as Supergirl, nobody is excited for this. The way she came in was very cheap, very lazy. Nothing epic, nothing like a cameo. Like people were excited to see it, and they're anxious to see where this is going to go. And she doesn't even. There's nothing epic about it. There's nothing interesting about it. The lazy door that they open, as if this is a universe is going to happen, is completely. It's just lazy. It's lazy. It's very below mediocre, very low standard. There is no work put into it, and there's nothing to show the fact is that she's going to do something that's actually going to be groundbreaking. Let me just say that. And as far as Lanterns, there might be some type of window of opportunity where Lanterns might be a little bit better. I'm saying that because because the cast, I'm familiar with the cast. I don't know if his name is Aaron Pierce or Aaron Pierre. Yeah, because I liked him in the Netflix movie. Hopefully he does something with that, but that's the only thing that I think is going to save it is the cast. But hopefully they do something with that. But again, since Gunn is running everything and everything goes by what he decides is a good idea, and the styles and the tone is going to go by the way he dictates it, that doesn't leave me with a lot to actually believe that it's going to turn out any different than his other projects. But I think that the fact is that his fans are turning on him, and the very fact that there's no momentum, there's no excitement for Supergirl, there's no excitement for Lanterns, there's no excitement for Clayface. Nobody's talking about these projects, and the only thing that I'm looking forward to out of all of this is none of it except for the Batman Part 2. That's it. And hopefully Deathstroke is the villain. That's all I care about at this point. Hopefully they get that right. Okay? And that's not even anything having to do with Gunn. That's just something that Zaslav pushed through to make it look good on paper. So I don't give him that credit either. So that's the only thing I'm looking forward to. And I'm not going to be waiting around, for about a year and a half for it. I'm not going to wait around for it. When it happens, because at this point, The Batman Part 1, it did have its flaws and stuff like that, but hopefully it can be able to learn from its problems, and learn from its flaws, and hopefully improve upon that. But again, that's the only thing that I look forward to as far as that. But that's all I got so far. Remember to like and subscribe. I want to know what you think in the comments. Be respectful in the comments. And until the next video, peace.